Good morning, students. This is Venugopal from DBS Institute of Technology. Now I am going to discuss about the C amplified frequency response. See here. So it is a two-stage C amplifier circuit. So here the input signal is applied here. This signal is coupled to the Q1 of the first stage through coupling capacitor CC. So here, after the first stage, the signal is coupled to Q2 through the coupling capacitor CC. So it is a two-stage C amplifier. Here R1, R2, these two resistors are used for the biasing purpose. So RC, so it is a collector resistor, it is the emitter resistor. So for stability purpose, we are using the emitter resistor. R1, R2 resistors are used for the biasing purpose. So here, the first stage output is connected to the second stage through the coupling capacitor CC. So here, if you connect directly the output of first stage to the input of second stage, we are having so many problems. That's why we are using coupling capacitor between the two stages. So to connect the signal from first stage to the second stage, we are using the coupling capacitor. So if you connect directly, the biasing conditions of the second stage will affect. So that's why we are using the coupling capacitor for coupling the two stages, right? Okay. So here, if you connect directly, the DC biasing of the second stage will change, right? So here, the signal is amplified in the first stage, then it is applied to the second stage. So it is a frequency response of the two-stage C amplifier. See here, at mid frequencies, we are getting the constant gain. At low frequencies and at high frequencies, so the gain decreases. So here, why the gain decreases at low frequencies and why the gain decreases at high frequencies? So at low frequencies, so see here, at low frequencies, the gain decreases due to two coupling capacitors. One is CC and another one is CE. So here CE is the emitter capacitor or bypass capacitor. So at low frequencies, the gain decreases due to these two capacitors. For example, if frequency is low, so we know that Xc equal to 1 by 2 pi Fc, right? So at low frequencies, if frequency decreases, the reactance of the capacitor increases. See here, for example, here if you apply some 50 millivolt signal, so at low frequencies, the reactance of this capacitor is high, so that's why the complete 50 millivolt signal is not applied to the Q1 base, right? So due to high reactance, so only some 10 or 20 millivolt signal is applied to base of Q1. So due to this capacitor, the gain decreases at low frequencies. Second one is, so due to CE also, the gain decreases at low frequencies. For example, here, so it is an emitter capacitor or bypass capacitor. The function of the emitter capacitor is this signal, if the reactance of this capacitor is high, then here the AC signal is flowing through RE, right? So here some voltage is developed across RE. So if this capacitor reactance is high, then the voltage is developed across RE, right? So this voltage is applied to input side in a reverse direction. So this voltage, here this voltage is applied to input side in a reverse direction. That is called negative feedback, right? So due to this negative feedback, the gain decreases at low frequency. So at low frequencies, these two capacitors are, so due to these two capacitors, the gain decreases. One is the coupling capacitor and the second one is emitter capacitor or bypass capacitor. Here the negative feedback is occurred, right? So we will see why the gain decreases at high frequencies. So here beta is frequency dependent. So beta is frequency dependent. So at high frequencies, so if frequency increases, beta decreases. If frequency increases, beta decreases. So at high frequencies, beta decreases, then IC decreases. If IC decreases, V naught also decreases. So based on this relation, so if IC decreases, V naught also decreases. If V naught decreases, so A equal to V naught by V. If V naught decreases, then automatically gain also decreases. So at high frequencies, the gain decreases due to beta factor. So beta is a frequency dependent. So that is the one reason. Second one is, here we are using the emitter capacitors. So here at high frequencies, we are having some wiring capacitance. So at high frequencies, the gain decreases due to beta factor. Second one is, here between the two electrodes. So it is one electrode, it is another electrode. So between two electrodes, we are having the capacitance, right? So due to this inter-electrode capacitance, also the gain decreases at high frequencies. So this capacitance is CCE, and this capacitance is CBE, and this capacitance is CBC, right? So due to these inter-electrode capacitance, so CBC, CCE and CBC. So CBE, CBC and CC. So due to this inter-electrode capacitance, the gain decreases at high frequency. So one is beta factor, second one is inter-electrode capacitance, and the third one is wiring capacitance. So here between these resistors, we are having some wiring capacitance. So due to this wiring capacitance also, the gain decreases at low frequencies. So here at medium frequencies, the gain is constant. So if X equal to 1 by 2 by Fc, so if the frequency is medium, so there is no effect of the reactance, right, of this capacitor. Then immediately 50 millivolts of the signal is directly applied to Q1. But at low frequencies, this reactance will be high, right? So at medium frequencies, we are getting the constant gain. So there is no effect of coupling capacitors and emitter capacitors, right? So here it is a maximum voltage gain. This it is here at this point. So at these frequencies, here F1 is lower cutoff frequency and F2 is upper cutoff frequency. So at these frequencies, the gain decreases by 70.7%. So these frequencies are called as cutoff frequencies. So these frequencies are called as cutoff frequencies. So at these frequencies, the gain decreases by 70.7%. Okay. So it is a high frequency pi model for CE transistor. So high frequency pi model for CE transistor. So here the emitter is common for both input and output sections. The base is the input terminal and the collector is the output terminal. So it is the equivalent circuit. So high frequency pi model. So it looks like a pi. So that's why it is called pi model. So pi model for the CE configuration, right? So for CE configuration, emitter is input, emitter is the common terminal for both input and output terminals. Here base is the input terminal and collector is the output terminal. So here RBB dash, it is the base spreading resistance. So base spreading resistance is the equivalent resistance between the base and virtual base. So it is the virtual base. So the base spreading resistance, RBB dash is the base spreading resistance. It is the resistance, equivalent resistance between base and virtual base. So nearly this resistance is nearly equal to 100 ohms. The typical value of RBB dash is 100 ohms. Then RB dash is the equivalent resistance from virtual base to emitter. So from virtual base to emitter. So here the equivalent, so the resistance value is 1 kilo ohm and RB dash C. So it is the RB dash C. So RB dash C is the equivalent resistance from virtual base to collector. So it is nearly 4 megaohms. So here RB dash C is greater than RB dash E, right? So RB dash E is nearly 1 kilo ohm, RB dash E is 4 megaohms, and CB dash E. So CB dash E is a forward biased capacitance from virtual base to emitter. So CB dash E is the forward biased capacitance. So forward bias means, so it is the forward bias. So input junction is the forward bias junction. So the capacitance occurred at the input side. So this capacitance is called as forward bias capacitance or diffusion capacitance. So it is nearly 100 picofarads, right? So CB dash C is the transition capacitance or reverse biased capacitance. So nearly it is the value, typical value of transition capacitance is 3 picofarads, right? So RCE is the output resistance. So RCE is the output resistance, and GM-VB dash is the output current generator. So nearly RCE is, so it is some 10 kilo ohms. So GM-VB dash is the output current generator. So here GM is the trans conductance. So these are the high frequency model. So it is the high frequency model. So if you see the relation between low frequency and high frequency parameters, so here, so GM is mod IC by VT. So it is a relation between low frequency parameters and high frequency parameters. So low frequency parameters are nothing but H parameters. So H parameters means HIE, HOP, HRE, HRD, that is HIE means input resistance. So HF is a forward current gain. So H0 is output admittance, right? So these are the low frequency parameters. So if you see the relation between low frequency parameters and high frequency parameters, here GM is a trans conductance. So it is a ratio of collector current to VT. Here VT is 26 millivolts. So it is a thermal voltage, 26 millivolt. And RB dash E equal to HFE by GM, right? And RBB dash is HIE minus RB dash E. And RB dash C is 1 by GB dash C. And GCE equal to 1 by RC. So we will see the relation between low frequency parameter and high frequency parameters. So everything, derivation part, everything we will see here. So we have seen about the relation between low frequency parameters and high frequency parameters. So first of all, we will calculate the trans conductance, right? So what is trans conductance? See here, this is a PNP transistor. So the trans conductance is defined as, this is a ratio of change in collector current to the change in emitter base voltage. So it is dou IC by dou VB dash E. So it is a VB dash E. It is the voltage between base and emitter. That is the VB dash E. So trans conductance is defined as the change in. So dou represents or delta represents it is change. So change in collector current to change in VB dash E. So here the collector current, we know that the collector current equation is, that is alpha E plus ICO. For NPN transistor, the collector current equation is alpha E plus ICO. So here the minus sign, it indicates, so for PNP transistor, the collector current has negative value. So IC equal to minus alpha E plus ICO. So ICO is the reverse saturation current or minority carrier current, right? So we can neglect this ICO. Here we can neglect this ICO. So IC equal to minus alpha E. So from this dou IC equal to, so minus alpha dou IE. So substitute this dou IC in the equation 1. So here in the equation 1, that is GM equal to dou IC by dou VB dash E. So substitute this dou IC equation in equation 1. Then you will get GM equal to, so minus this one, minus alpha dou IE by dou VB dash E. So here VB dash is nothing but emitter voltage VE. Here we are not having any emitter resistance. So that's why, so this voltage is equal to this voltage. So VB dash equal to VE. It is the emitter voltage. So this voltage is the voltage between base and emitter. So we can write VB dash equal to VE. So then GM equal to minus alpha dou IE by, so in place of VB dash E, here we can write VE. So GM equal to minus alpha dou IE by dou V. Then the emitter diode resistance RE. So emitter diode resistance RE is, it is a ratio of emitter voltage to emitter current. So RE equal to dou VE by dou IE. So if 1 by RE equal to, so it reverses. So dou IE by dou VT. So then GM equal to minus, see here, if you substitute this, so then GM equal to, so this one, minus R by RE. So here RE is given as, so VT by IE, so substitute this RE in this equation 2, and GM equal to, so minus alpha by, so we substitute here, so GM equal to minus alpha by VT by IE. So here it becomes minus alpha IE by VT. So minus alpha E is nothing but this one. So from this minus alpha E equal to IC minus ICO. So GM equal to IC minus ICO by VT. Here we can neglect ICO. So finally we will get the transconductance GM equal to IC by VT. So here mod indicates if you see the NPN transition, then we will have minus sign. So that's why we are taking the mod. So that is the transconductance GM equal to IC by VT. Yeah, here. So it is a GM equal to minus alpha by RE. So if you substitute this in this equation, so GM becomes minus alpha by RE. So then finally we will get GM equal to mod IC by VT. Right?
Thank you.
Thank you.